Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason in Terre Haute, Indiana, and I am on the campus of Indiana State University, and I'm next to the marker of the Eugene Victor Debs house, which is located just on the campus. And I'm not going to be going in, but I'm going to be checking out the exterior of the site, tell you some history. Also going to be visiting the gravesite of Eugene Debs. So come with me and I'll show you around. Here we go. First of all, I will go ahead and show you this marker that's right here. Debs, who lived from 1855 to 1926, was a leading pioneer in industrial unionism, social reformer, and peace advocate. Founded American Railway Union in 1893, co-founded American Socialist Party in 1900, and ran 5 times for a United States presidency. Home built in 1890, declared National Historic Landmark in 1966, and it was put up by both the Indiana Historical Bureau and the Eugene Victor Debs Foundation in 1992. I think the back says the same thing, but I could be really wrong. Yeah, it is. And then that's the front of the house, and like I was saying at James Seward House, I always get fascinated by these plaques that talk about the registered National Historical Landmark, put up in 1966. Pretty cool. So yes, this is also a museum, and it houses a lot of memorabilia that once belonged to Debs and his wife, as well as his personal library. But unfortunately, I will not be going in because of time schedule. It's early morning here in Indiana, and the museum actually opens at noon. It's open from Tuesday through Fridays as of now, from noon to 5 p.m. But admission is free, but they do encourage $5 donations, you know, just to keep the place running. But like I said, this was a National Historic Landmark on November 13th, 1966. That same day, it was also added to the National Register of Historic Places. This was built in 1890, and since 1962, it has been maintained by the Eugene Victor Debs Foundation. So, and it's also a guided tour. Like, there's usually 1 or 2 people doing the tour, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of look around here. So, Debs, being a socialist and union leader, he was criticized for the house not portraying working class lifestyle. Some notable people who have been here include James Whitcomb Riley, who is also a notable Indian in person, and also his house is on the National Road, and I may stop there later in my trip. Another guy, Carl Sandburg, both of them who were good friends with the Debs. When Debs passed away in 1926, a funeral sermon was given for him here. It was attended by reportedly 5,000 people. Now, the house would have various owners, one of them being a professor here at Indiana State University. But like I said, since 1962, it was purchased by the Eugene Debs Foundation, and a couple years after that, the Indiana State government, or the legislature, they made this a historic home. So it's been nicely preserved. Now here in the window it says here, stand with workers, pass the PRO-Act, stand with auto workers, help each other. Now there's a lot about Debs' life I can get into, but I'll do my best to kind of stick with the highlights. And like the marker says, he was a 5-time presidential candidate representing the Socialist Party of America. Earlier in his political career, though, he was an active member of the Democratic Party. But of course that would change. But he would also lead many unions, small ones to begin with, but then, like the marker says, he was instrumental in founding the American Railway Union. But it was Debs' involvement in the Pullman strike, which was broken up by President Grover Cleveland, and that would land him in jail, or actually prison. And while Debs was in prison, he got some books and educated himself about socialism, and from there on, but that was not the only time he was in prison. Let's see what the sign says. Who lived here? Socialists, suffragists, writers, sycamores, Hoosiers, revolutionaries, or all the above. Take a free tour to find out more. Students always welcome. Actually, I take that back. It's open from Tuesday through Saturday. And I've been saying this throughout my trip the last 24 hours, like this is actually Eastern time zone, and just 12 miles away it's like the Central time zone. So if it's noon here, it's 11 a.m. like on the Illinois border. So yeah, tours will begin at 1 to 3. Okay. Well, it's got a really nice porch. You got another door that leads to it. I'll go in the backyard shortly. It looks like they got some plaques hanging there. So as you're entering from the left side of the house, we're entering the Virgil E. Morris Memorial Gardens, a tribute to Eugene V. Debs. Ned A. Bush, a founder, dedicated protector, and first curator of the Eugene V. Debs Home and Museum. All right, check this out. Wow, it's got a lot of what it would have looked like probably 150 years ago. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of plaques, but a lot of them, I don't know a lot of the names. I don't recognize a lot of the names except for Mother Jones, whose grave I visited in Mount Olive, Illinois. But it looks like they have like Union companies or Union symbols on top, so I imagine these are all Union leaders. I'm not gonna thoroughly read all of them, but I'm just gonna kind of show you which ones are here. Like Jack Shankman, who, let's see, the Clothing and Textile Workers Union, Big Bill Haywood, United Mine Workers of America, Charles Luna, the United Transportation Union, excuse me, Sidney Hillman, who also worked for the Clothing and Textile Workers Union, Mother Jones, the United Mine Workers of America, the most dangerous woman in America. Yep. Check out my Mother Jones video if you got the chance. Patrick Gorman, the Meat Cutters and Butcher Workmen's, Philip Murray, the United Steelworkers of America, Michael Quill, co-founder and first international president of Transport Workers Union of America, AFL-CIO, Samuel Gompers, now that's a name I recognize too, Walter Reuther, William Silvis, America's first national labor leader, founder of National Union of Iron Molders. Interesting, huh? And he also founded the National Labor Union. Jerry Worf, Joseph Byrne, president of Communications Workers of America, Patrick J. Quinlan, president of the United Association of Journeymen and Apprentices of the Plumbing and Pipe Fitting Industry of the United States and Canada. And finally, Peter J. McGuire, founder and general secretary, United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners of America, father of Labor Day. Oh, there's another plaque on the back of the house. This one is about Virgil E. Morris. Well, this is what it's named after. But it looks like he was involved in many different unions and such. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and visit his grave, which is in the east part of Terre Haute. Alright, so I'm at Highland Lawn Cemetery, which dates back quite far a ways. It's got a bell tower, and that's the main office. And that's the National Road, Highway 40. This is east of town of Terre Haute, Indiana. Didn't really have very much far to look, but this is the final resting place of five-time presidential candidate Eugene Debs. Now, findagrave.com was kind of misleading, not to criticize, but I thought that that stone right there had a big angel on top of it, but that's actually where the rest of the Debs family is buried, in section 3. I'm standing in section 1. But if the family apparently was afraid that somebody was going to dig up the bodies of these two, Eugene and his wife Kate, but they are handled in good care. I mean, if anything does happen, I mean, the cemetery officials can easily see what's going on. But I'm going to see what people left behind here. Yeah, rocks, an acorn, money, flowers. Rest in peace to Eugene and K. Debs. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. Hope you enjoyed this one. I am at Highland Lawn Cemetery in Terre Haute, Indiana. Sign off.